Tonight on Ctv3 News, the industry stakeholders regroup on cane sampling reform amid industry tensions and challenging season. Plus, they also look into strengthening the fight against Fusarium wilt with a major investment and industry modernization to safeguard the future of the sugar industry. A Belize Coast Guard Brian Chiac is charged for attempted murder after he stabbed his estranged common-law wife multiple times. And Belize's drinking water is safe for consumption. We'll take you to the press conference where SIB, BWS, and the MOHW clarify the findings of the MICS-7. These are some of the news stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, November 27th, 2025.
Looking for quality, tasty, and easy to prepare meals? Look no farther. M&M Frozen Foods, proudly distributed by United Distributors Limited, brings you a wide range of delicious frozen delights, perfect for every occasion. From frozen pizzas, quesadillas, garlic bread, jumbo samosa, cocktail samosas, pizza pockets, spring rolls, and hacken noodles, M&M Frozen Foods is fresh, flavorful, and convenient for busy lifestyles. Whether you're planning a quick dinner, hosting a gathering, or stocking up for the week, M&M Frozen Foods has you covered. Available now at leading supermarkets and stores nationwide through United Distributors Limited. M&M Frozen Foods, extensive variety to satisfy every craving.
Attention farmers! The New World screwworm is a serious threat to livestock, pets, wildlife, and humans. It causes yield losses, damages the quality of meat and skins, and can even kill them if left untreated. Check your animals daily. If you see any wounds on them, treat them immediately. Prevention is key. Apply approved healing and fly repellents to the navel of newborn animals after dehorning, ear tagging, or any other practice that leaves wounds on your animals to ensure your animals' well-being. If you notice worms in unusual wounds, report them immediately. Call Baja at 824-4872 or text or WhatsApp 670-7003 or call your nearest Ministry of Agriculture office. And don't forget, never transport or receive animals with injuries. Together, we will prevent the spread of this dangerous disease. This message was brought to you by Baja, OIRSA, AICA, USDA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise.
We are the Public Utilities Commission. Since 1999, we have regulated Belize's electricity, water, and telecommunication sectors, ensuring quality services at reasonable rates for consumers. A lot has changed since our establishment in 1999, and so have we. To reflect our evolution and future-focused vision, we are proud to introduce our new identity, where the blend of colors show our balanced and inclusive approach to regulation, where innovation, sustainability, and trust are all equally important. Orange represents the telecommunications sector and symbolizes innovation and connectivity. Green reflects the energy sector, sustainability, and national growth. Blue represents the water sector, highlighting trust, stability, and life-sustaining resources. White symbolizes transparency and accountability, core principles of the PUC. We are the Public Utilities Commission, transitioning to a new look, but our core values remain the same: accountability, excellence, integrity, innovation, and professionalism. Our logo is more than a design. It is our visual commitment to continue to serve the people of Belize with transparency, competence, and professionalism. We are the Public Utilities Commission.
Your government is taking back ownership of our hydro dams and power generation plants, and all shares held in BEL by the foreign-owned Fortis. Belizean assets in the hands of Belizeans. fully Belizean owned and managed, with all local employees. Our nation's premier source of clean power generation is now in our hands. Revenues made in Belize will now stay in Belize. Remember, energy security equals economic independence. Your government continues to put Belizeans first.
Police rescued a woman who was allegedly held captive and raped repeatedly by her ex-boyfriend. A few weeks ago, we told you about a teacher in the Corozal district who was accused of rape and sexual assault against a student. Well, tonight it's a principal that stands accused, and the student he allegedly abused is 13. A 17-year-old from the Belize district told police that her father had touched her inappropriately in a sexual manner in July before he raped her at their home on the day school opened.
Real men don't beat up women. Real men don't prey on children. Real men don't abuse and rape and terrorize. Real men uplift women and protect children. It's time to break the cycle. Time to end the violence. It starts with us.
Infrastructure that impacts lives, provides opportunities, and enables the growth of communities and country. That has been the constant mission of the MIDH. The upgrading of the Guinea Grass Road has forged a vital link between the vibrant and productive communities of Shipyard, Guinea Grass, and the rest of Belize, which allows the smooth movement of goods and services. The transformation provided by meaningful infrastructure is very real.
We had really been struggling to transport these hoses on these roads, right? Since we have all the holes on the roads and stuff like that. We do not have that issue anymore, right? So but now when we are delivering our hose, it comes to its location in a 100% complete product, right?
Before this highway came into place, this Tower Hill to Guinea Grass highway, there was a lot of bad things going on in terms of the road. It was bad. Potholes when it used to rain. People used to take a long time to come out and come into the village. And even teachers who are teaching here who have to commute find it very difficult to do their traveling every day.
Una gran diferencia. En el tiempo que estaba la carretera que no estaba pavimentada era demasiado polvo demasiado. Y era como más despacio. Andabas como más lento porque pues no podías ir rápido. Pero ahorita es un gran beneficio, la mera verdad es, yo creo que es lo mejor que el gobierno ha hecho. Yo estoy muy feliz, muy alegre con ello.
Well, now with this highway, now we have a lot of people, traversing the village. And our people in our village who have a small business like fast food, they're benefiting from that, no? Because people stop there in the morning, have their breakfast, and they go and continue their business.
Have business been increasing? Definitely. Yeah, we have realized like when it comes to our customers, right? So like we do not have the problems anymore that customer would say if they would call in, okay, where are you located, right? And I would say, we're located entrance of Shipyard. And then they would say, okay, we have to travel the bad road or whatever. So that's not a question anymore.
In the past, I believe these students used to struggle, meaning going on the bus or traveling on pickup, and it took long, they reached late to their classes. But right now, the transportation is accessible and the highway is accessible. So from Guinea Grass to their destination, to Orange Rock, to the high schools in Orange Rock, it takes less time. Right now, I believe teachers, people smile because it only takes minutes to reach from Guinea Grass to Tower Hill.
morning with your newscast, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Jaden Gamis. With the northern sugar industry bracing for another difficult crop season, government officials are revisiting a long-debated measure aimed at improving cane quality: the reintroduction of individual cane sampling. Production and quality are expected to be negatively affected this year as farmers continue to grapple with the combined impacts of fusarium wilts and changing weather patterns. Industry stakeholders say that more precise quality assessments may be necessary to protect both farmers and the mill from further losses. Individual cane sampling would allow each delivery of cane to be tested separately, ensuring farmers are paid according to the quality of their product. However, the proposal comes with a painful history. The last attempt to introduce similar testing methods, using a core sampler, sparked a widespread revolt among cane farmers. Tensions boiled over, leading to violent protests and ultimately the tragic death of a cane farmer. Mindful of that history, Minister of State Honorable Osman Martinez says the government is determined to approach the issue differently this time. He emphasized that no decision will be taken without thorough consultation, education, and collaboration with the farming community. According to Martinez, the Ministry of Agriculture is taking place this week to begin early discussions on the proposal. The goal, he said, is to ensure farmers fully understand how the system works, how results are calculated, and how it could ultimately benefit them in a season where the quality is at risk.
Actually, tomorrow we are meeting with the different associations, with CIRDI and the BSI, ASR, and our hope is that we can have a healthy discussion to look at the pros and cons. We have a very respectful approach where consultations will definitely be the priority for us to respect and consult the different associations. But also, it's important for us to be able to understand, what this type of methodologies will bring into the farming system and how it can work along with one another.
The dialogue is expected to continue in the coming weeks as the stakeholders prepare for what is shaping up to be a challenging crop season. The government of Belize is intensifying its response to fusarium wilt, the destructive fungus threatening cane fields across the northern sugar belt. Through the coordinated efforts of the Ministry of Agriculture, the Sugar Industry Research and Development Institute, and the leadership of state in the Ministry of Economic Transformation, Honorable Osman Martinez, significant investments are being channeled into new strategies to contain and reduce the spread of the disease. According to officials, some affected cane fields will need to be retired as part of the long-term management plan. Retiring fields has been identified as one of the most effective ways to break the cycle of infection and protect future cane crops. The ministry has also introduced enhanced monitoring, improved diagnostic capacity, and targeted extension support to help farmers adopt better disease control practices. These efforts are part of a broader approach aimed at not only slowing the spread of fusarium, but also at strengthening the resilience of the entire sugar industry.
The industry needs to be revitalized. The existing cane fields that we have, they need to be retired. And so we are working with both the University of Belize and a BSI ASR to be able to provide new seeds and to bring that refreshment into the industry. So for example, we have some canes that are as old as 30 years old, and in reality, we should have that rotation every 5 years. So in total, the industry, for example, the industry here in the north has, the sugar industry in the north has 60,000 acres, which means that our plan is that on an annual basis, we will do replanting on 12,000 acres. So every 5 years, you will be able to rejuvenate the cane fields, but at the same time, the new canes will be resistant to the new viruses and new fungus and new crises, more climate resilient, more disease resilient, more fungus resilient. And to do that, we will be able to, because it's important to note, while we have fusarium now, we will have something else tomorrow. Okay, and so, but the only way we will be able to address it is when we can develop a new plantation system that will be resistant to the present needs.
As the industry continues to adjust to the impact of the fungus, authorities say the start of the 2026 crop season is expected to be delayed by a few weeks. The decision aims to ensure optimal weather conditions and allow sufficient time for farmers and group leaders to coordinate and synchronize their harvesting plans.
The factory is expecting to start or to start to receive cane sometime in the middle of January. And the delay is based on the experience that we had last year. So for example, last year it was raining, so most of the cane was dirty. The farmers have challenges to get the cane out. But for the industry to be efficient and to be, when we talk about efficiency, we talk about the efficiency in all dimensions, but more important is in the financial aspect of it. For the industry to be financially efficient, we need to be able to process 7,000 tons of cane per day. And so what we are doing right now is that we are coordinating with the harvesting groups. We are working with them so that all the harvesting groups can be well synchronized, but at the same time that each and every harvesting group will understand what their responsibility will be in terms of delivering their commitments to the factory. The factory they recently made some significant investments on maintenance as to minimize any disruption during the time of milling.
In addition to the disease control measures, the sector is accelerating its shift towards greater mechanization. Industry leaders note that increased mechanized harvesting will help reduce standover cane, an issue that has contributed to significant losses for many years. The push towards modernization is seen as a crucial step in improving overall efficiency and protecting the long-term viability of the sugar industry.
We need, and we're working to move the farming system from a traditional to a mechanized system. So last year we had shortage of labor, and so about 70,000 tons more or less were left on the fields. That means that Belize, the cane farmers, the industry, the foreign reserve, everyone lost, because now instead of maybe having that space of soil, if it was harvested, that soil would have been producing another 70,000 or more tons of cane. So we lost a year. And now when the cane is all emit, the quality will be compromised, and so there will be some losses. But
government officials say the collaborative approach with farmers, technical agencies, and mill representatives will continue as they work to stabilize production and safeguard the livelihoods of communities that depend on sugarcane. Tonight, a member of the Belize Coast Guard has been ordered to remain in custody following his arraignment on charges of attempted murder and assault with deadly means against his estranged common-law wife. Brian Chiak appeared in court yesterday, where he was denied bail and remanded to the Belize Central Prison until January 12, 2026. The incident occurred earlier this week in Belize City during a heated dispute over money. According to reports, the victim, Police Constable Jessica Poo, recounted that Chiak returned home intoxicated around 3:30 a.m. and demanded she transfer $4,000 from her savings account, funds that she had been saving from him. Fearing for her safety, she locked herself inside a room, but Chiak forcefully kicked open the door and compelled her to comply with his demand. The situation escalated further when Chiak stabbed Pu multiple times, 4 times in her left arm and twice in her right foot, despite her compliance. Police arrived at the scene to find her unconscious from blood loss. During yesterday's court proceedings, Chiak did not enter a plea. Given the seriousness of the charges, the court decided to deny bail, remanding him to custody pending his next court appearance. The Office of the Prime Minister has issued a staunch and forceful response to what it describes as ongoing, undoubtful personal attacks by Channel 7 News Director Jules Vasquez. The clash between the government and the media outlet escalated after Channel 7 reported on criminal charges against Raul Rocha, co-owner of Miss Universe Belize. The report highlighted that Prime Minister John Briceño had met with Rocha more than a year prior, prompting the OPM to condemn what is called a deliberate attempt to create a misleading link between the Prime Minister and Rocha's legal issues. In its statement, the OPM clarified that the meeting with Rocha was part of a routine official engagement. It was one of many instances during a 2024 trade and investment delegation aimed at exploring broader economic opportunities, standard practice for the Prime Minister, the government emphasized. The OPM denounced the suggestion that the meeting indicated any wrongdoing or collusion. However, the government's rebuttal did not stop there. Turning the lens back onto Channel 7's own history, the OPM criticized Jules Vasquez personally, referencing the news director's late father, Nestor Vasquez, who was implicated in a major scandal involving Belize Telemedia Limited, BTL. The statement asserts that although the elder Vasquez was involved in meetings with the Prime Minister, this never implied any complicity in the scandal. The OPM argued that the same logic should apply to Rocha matter, implying that the current focus was unfairly personal and politically motivated. Adding to its critique, the OPM referenced allegations that substantial sums of BTL money were funneled to Channel 7 during Vasquez's tenure, suggesting that the news director could not have been unaware of the financial dealings. The insinuation aimed to question the impartiality and credibility of the station's reporting. While affirming that the Briceño administration respects the media and encourages factual journalism, the OPM accused Jules Vasquez of engaging in yellow journalism and hysterical rants, alleging that the platform is being used for personal vendettas rather than responsible reporting. The statement concluded with a stern warning: if such attacks persist, the government will consider legal action. As of now, Channel 7 has not issued a response to the OPM's sharp rebuke. Police in Corozal are asking the public for their assistance in locating 14-year-old Fantasia Robateo, a student who has been reported missing. Robateo was last seen on Sunday, November 15, 2025 in Corozal town. She is described as being of Creole descent, with a light brown complexion and a slim build. She stands at approximately 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs about 125 pounds. If you have information on her whereabouts of Robateo, you can contact Crime Stoppers Belize or 922. Coming up next, there is a new flour in town. We take you to Carmelita, where the Manao Flour Mill is inaugurated. Stay tuned.
Are you dealing with a fracture? At Sugar City Medical Center, we care about your recovery. Introducing our Fracture Care Package. For just $100, you'll receive a free orthopedic consultation, 2 x-rays, and a densitometry ultrasound, all designed to get you back on your feet faster. This offer is only available for patients with fractures and is valid until December 18, 2025. Don't wait. Call Sugar City Medical Center today and take the first step towards your healing, because your health is our priority.
I present to you Her Royal Highness.
I want to try something different.
Nice parking.
Thank you.
You missed a spot right there.
Plot twist.
Wow, you look beautiful.
Giddy up.
Knowing that you make a difference is what keeps us going.
Oh, Philadelphia is starting to feel like home.
Let's make it the best Christmas ever.
It is truly an honor to stand here today as a part of the Self-Phone Repair Training Program. A program that has not only taught us a valuable technical skill, but also empower us as women to step into a field that is often seen as male-dominated. We learn how to open up phones, identify parts, common problems, and even fix these issues on our own. We have not only learned a new trade, but we have proven that women can do anything we set our minds to.
I am forever grateful for this experience. This course was amazing, and I bet these ladies have that knowledge now, and nobody's gonna take away that knowledge that we have.
So it's an opportunity for you to start to figure out the way forward and to be able to market to your community.
When women are empowered and they're productive, they produce, GDP grows, and we're all more productive and better off as an entire country. So they're investing in you, and they fully expect that you guys are going to go out and work and make your community better, make your families better, and then the country as a consequence is going to be so much better because of your hard work. I want to thank you for believing in yourself, for having the confidence to at least attempt something new. And in the future, I want you to continue to take chances, to challenge yourself, not to underestimate what you can do and try new things, because a lot of times people need just one chance.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Welcome to a new era of healthcare. We're thrilled to announce the grand opening of Orange Walk Multi-Care Hospital, your trusted health partner in Belize. Located at mile 56.5 Philip Golson Highway, our state-of-the-art facility offers comprehensive medical services, compassionate care, and cutting-edge technology, all in one place. Join us on December 5th at 4 p.m. for our grand opening celebration and experience world-class healthcare right in your neighborhood. Orange Walk Multi-Care Hospital, caring for you, your family, and your community.
Hoy te vamos a contar un cuento basado en una historia real. Chao Dengue. Capítulo 1. Síntomas del dengue. Había una vez una familia que, sin saberlo, llevaba consigo un visitante no deseado. No era un monstruo ni un fantasma, pero sí algo que podía debilitar su cuerpo y robarle la energía. pronto llegaron la fiebre, acompañada de dolor de cabeza, principalmente detrás de los ojos, dolor de cuerpo, náuseas y un sarpullido que se enrojecía por su piel. ¿Qué debían hacer en ese momento? Lo primero era no caer en la automedicación. En la mente del padre resonaban las palabras de los expertos. La clave está en buscar ayuda temprana. Así que, sin dudarlo, se dirigió a la unidad de salud más cercana, donde le brindaron la atención necesaria. Pero la historia no termina ahí. Si alguien en su familia también enfrentaba la misma situación, era enviado a su hogar con una lista de recomendaciones para ser cuidado allí. El reposo se convertía en su mejor escudo y la hidratación en su arma más poderosa. Abundante líquido y, sobre todo, sales de rehidratación oral serían sus aliados en la recuperación. La familia aprendió que la acción temprana podía marcar la diferencia para que esta historia tenga un final feliz. Y colorín colorado, la salud hay que cuidarla en todos lados.
Is your internet struggling to reach every corner of your home? Say goodbye to dead zones. Introducing Villo, your ultimate solution for seamless internet coverage. Whether you're streaming, gaming, working from home, or scrolling through social media, Villo delivers a fast, reliable Wi-Fi where you need it most. As a valued Centaur internet customer, you can be one of the first to access Villo free of cost. For more information, call 380-0101.
Green the grass is over there, you belong here with us.
Welcome to the overworld.
Anything you can dream about here?
Some things are gonna come out about me. I can't live with it no more.
Put a track lock on itself. Who moves I want to know.
The village of Carmelita in the Orange Walk district is now home to Belize's newest and most advanced agro-processing facility. This week, government officials, industry stakeholders, and community members gathered for the official inauguration of the Mana Flour Mill, hailed as a major step forward for Belize's food security and economic growth.
The impressive state-of-the-art flour mill is semi-automated, blending the latest technology with local employment opportunities. The 20 million facility has the capacity to produce up to 150 tons of flour per day, more than enough to supply the national demand, and even position Belize to enter the export market.
What we have now is a fully operational flour mill. It's a modern flour production facility with advanced reliable technology. We produce high quality flour. Now, to increase employment opportunities for the people in the north, what the directors decided was to obtain semi-automated or not fully automated systems so that we can create opportunities, for employment. Because with the technology we have now, we have fully automated. You don't need barely any kind of employment. But that was not the idea here. So now, at full capacity, this mill can produce 150 tons of flour per hour. per day. It's 150 tons per day. And it is more than enough that is needed for the consumption in Belize. And we can also supply the export market as well. From construction to now, I can say we have employed about 130 persons. And we are not done yet. We are still growing, and with growth, we will have to employ more people. So the facility behind me, like I said, is an opportunity for the people in the north to access jobs, to access quality products, and to be a part of a family that is right here in Carmelita.
Mana has already begun supplying flour locally, and in a historic move, the company recently shipped 750 metric tons of wheat through the port of Big Creek, demonstrating both production capacity and a commitment to international grade quality. The mill currently produces two main types of flour, an all-purpose flour and a high-quality baker's flour.
Okay, we have had some significant market penetration. Just in the beginning of this month, we shipped to Belize 7,500 metric tons of wheat through the port of Big Creek, and that will allow us to supply a nice amount of the market. So we are penetrating the market. It is being received very well. We produce two types of flour. One is an all-purpose flour. Next one is an enriched baker's flour. This is a state-of-the-art facility that can produce flour of the same quality or higher quality than any flour that is available. And we are aiming to produce higher quality than is available. So, as a matter of fact, we can adjust the protein contents or whatever the content, the nutrients in the flour as per request from the customer. So that's where we are right here. We have the technology, we have the ability, we have the people behind it. We have 18 engineers. We have 3 engineers and we have 18 technicians. Out of the 18 technicians, 8 of them are female.
One of the company's strongest selling points is cost. Mana's flour is currently priced below the controlled market price, offering consumers a more affordable option without sacrificing quality. The product is also being marketed using pre-packaged bags in a variety of sizes, making it more convenient for households and businesses alike.
Now the prices will be anywhere between $79 and $85 per 100-pound sack. It's far cheaper than what we have in the market right now. It's actually 11% lower than the regulated price. So you have a ceiling for it's a controlled price. So we are 11% lower. So we are trying to give the Belizean public quality products, quality flour, and at a cheaper rate. We have the flour available in 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds, and 100 pounds.
Pre-packaged?
We have pre-packaged flour, correct.
Talk to us about that also. I know that having pre-packaged products is something that Belize is also leaning towards. So that it's more a safer, more hygienic option as well.
Correct. That's the idea behind it. We want to try to move away from this system that you get 100-pound sacks to the retailers, and then you have workers there packaging the flour manually and packing it on shelves, and so it's unsightly, unhealthy. I think there are many health risks involved, and we want to move away from that. We want to give the Belizean public, like I said, quality, and we start with that, and hopefully it is well received.
Looking ahead, Mana hopes to partner with Belizean farmers to eventually grow the wheat used in the mill, an initiative that could one day make their flour a fully homegrown 100% Belizean product.
We are looking at people in the north who can plant wheat here in the north and see if it's viable, because the viability is important. We will consume a lot of wheat. So if it can be supplied here in Belize, the more the merrier. I know there's a Ministry of Agriculture and some farmers right here in the north are are experimenting with some varieties of wheat to see which ones would be able to yield or have the most yield so that we can supply the market here. Man, can you imagine we produce our own wheat and produce our own flour right here? What that does for food security for Belize?
Speaking at the historic event, Prime Minister John Briceño praised the launch of the Mana Flour Mill, describing it as a clear sign of investor confidence and the rising potential of Belize's productive sector. He said the project aligns closely with the government's broader goal for economic expansion, job creation, and national food security.
My message to them is that Belize is a wonderful place for opportunity, and that if you have a good plan and a good product, our citizens are going to buy it. And that you have a government that's going to support you to ensure that you can succeed, because your success will be our success. You hiring people, creating opportunities, creating jobs for people, and having other people then investing in other services that can support the work that you do or your investment, for us that is a success. But then I said, when you come to Belize, don't think Belize. Think Mexico. Think Central America. Think the Caribbean. The Caribbean and Central America is an economy of approximately $400 billion. And when you add the amount of people that live between Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, you're looking probably close to 200 million. And we have been working with our neighbors, with Mexico, opening up markets in Mexico so that we then can produce and sell into Mexico. We've been working with Guatemala. We're working with El Salvador. We have an agreement with CARICOM that our products can go into these areas. And so that when you come and make that investment, think big. Because we are a small country, for too long we think only Belize. We think about a market of approximately 400,000 people. But it is more than that. And if you can think big and come with a good plan and come with a good product, then I'm sure that you can have success beyond your wildest dreams.
The Prime Minister also commended the company for its commitment to innovation and inclusivity, noting efforts to employ more women within its operation, an approach, he says, supports his administration's push to bring more women into the workforce.
They already are hiring about 100 persons. And guess what? The majority of them are women. And they say women are good workers. And one of the goals that my government is trying to come up with is to find a way how we can get more women into the workforce. Presently, more than 40%, close to 50% of our women are not working. And they don't work for many reasons. Many instances, they are the ones that have to take care of the home. But there are times when after the children are becoming young adults, and they don't need as much attention, now that they want to be able to work. Belize needs workers. We need to produce more. And I believe that if we could find a way how we could attract all of these women that are not working, that are in the home, that can come and work in places like here at the flour mill or at the different other companies here at this factory compound, that we can then create opportunities for women that did not have access to the job market. So again, Kevin, congratulations in creating those opportunities.
For the community of Carmelita and for the country on a whole, this facility marks a new milestone in agro-industry advancement. Reporting for Ctv3 News, Norma Riz.
Yesterday marked an open forum hosted by the Social Security Board, providing a platform for direct dialogue with journalists and influential community members. During the session, CEO Jerome Palma offered insights into the organization's core functions, shared upcoming initiatives, and addressed common public queries. The discussion primarily focused on the topics of contributions and benefits, areas of significant importance to Belizeans. During the discussion with the media, Palma spoke about the future direction of the SSB and how recent developments might affect the public. Among the key updates is the shift towards a digital interface, enabling contributors to manage their accounts and transactions conveniently via online platforms.
I think as we move forward with the development in the scheme, we will have to engage and get feedback. We have to understand what are the challenges. When we are dealing with the administration and operations, we may be looking and seeing at it from one perspective. When we discuss with stakeholders like the media, we will gain a different perspective. So it is important that we have these type of engagement. It is a part of our accountability and transparency as well as we continue to strive to make sure we pass on information.
You mentioned that there was a meeting just like this last year around the same time. How has SSB progressed from then until now?
Well, there's several advancements that we've made. We've taken, for example, under consideration for the items to be presented today to include things like the investment portfolio that was highlighted the last time around. So we were quite deliberate in that way. From last year to now, you've seen that we've launched several portal features, and those are definitely in the public domain for people to access, for them to engage with us. So we've launched that. We have other things that are then upcoming in terms of like our app. That's something that people can expect within the next few months that we will roll out. So from last year to now, the engagement, we've considered the feedback that we got, but we've also quite intentionally launched things in the portal like the online sickness submission that people are now utilizing.
As we told you on Tuesday, a high-level delegation led by the Minister of State Dr. Osman Martinez and CEO Carlos Paul has wrapped up a 2-day mission to farms in Orange Walk and Corozal, where the disease has been rapidly affecting cane fields. The visit, organized with the Sugar Industry Research and Development Institute, brought together technical teams from the Taiwan Technical Mission, AICA Belize, and the University of Belize. Their goal was to assess the severity of the outbreak and identify the conditions fueling the spread. Over the 2 days, the delegation met with farmers, toured heavily impacted fields, and reviewed cultivation methods, soil conditions, and equipment use. The combined expertise from local and international partners provided a clearer understanding of what the challenges on the ground. Preliminary findings indicate that the spread of cane wilt is being driven by multiple interconnected factors, including climate-related stress from drought, heat, and heavy rainfall, low soil nutrients and limited organic matter, gaps in a general field management, and the use of unclean planting material due to the absence of tissue culture propagation. These vulnerabilities have allowed the disease to advance more aggressively. Today, Minister Osman Martinez emphasized that the mission is a key step in the government's plan to keep the industry viable.
We had a mission from Taiwan who came to see how they can assist through science and technology with the crisis that we have with Fusarium, and the visit was to both the Orange Rock industry, which BSI, the ASR, and also Santander in the West. The mission was very good because they brought some scientists who are experts in Fusarium, and they did provide some recommendations on the way forward, which we will also discuss with the different associations and strategize, because the most important part here is where will the resources come from. Therefore, once the resources are identified, it will be much easier for us to move forward in terms of how the recommendations will be implemented.
He noted that farmers already understood many of the solutions but needed greater support, resources, and access to the right technology to adapt best practices and strengthen their resilience against both current and future threats.
There are some recommendations which I believe that most of the farmers are aware of. So, for example, during the rainy season, as it is now, the roots of the cane, they will come all the way to the top. And then the roots were not designed in a plant to be exposed to the external elements. They were designed to be under the ground. So, and the reason why it happened is simply because we don't have proper drainage. Okay? So during the rainy season, we don't have proper drainage, so the soil is saturated with water, and then the roots will come up all the way to the top. So that's one of the problems identified. And the second is that we don't have an irrigation system during the dry season as well. And they also show us how to do it in Taiwan, where they have the science and the technology, the different machinery that can help in doing practically 3 dimensions. One is how they will put back the soil on the root. 2 is how they will open the drains so that it can assist with drainage. But at the same time, it can also serve as a way of irrigation system during the dry season. And then, Taiwan is way more technologically advanced, so they use satellite systems and drones, soil analysis, and so they were encouraging us to do that as well. But at the same time, we will find a way on how to work along with our friends from Taiwan so that we can enjoy some of those, not only the expertise and the know-how, but see how we can introduce some of that technology into the sugar industry in Belize.
We will continue to follow this story as authorities prepare next steps in the national response to cane wilt. After high public concern on a national survey carried out by the Statistical Institute of Belize, SIB, which revealed elevated levels of Escherichia coli, E. coli, in drinking water sources throughout the country. Today, the organization held a joint press conference with the Belize Water Services Limited and the Ministry of Health and Wellness to clarify the findings. The survey employed UNICEF's testing standards and analyzed water samples from both urban and rural households, uncovering signs of microbial contamination that pose potential health risks. The presence of E. coli, a bacterium commonly associated with fecal contamination, indicates possible breaches in water safety and raises concerns about the overall quality of drinking water in Belize.
The water testing results showed that at a national level, 33.7% of the population was at some kind of risk of contamination to their drinking water based on samples collected at the point of consumption, collected from a drinking receptacle. We acknowledge that this finding has understandably raised some public concern, and we want to address directly what this data shows. At the source level, where households first access their drinking water, such as the tap, dispenser, or water tank, results showed that there was no detectable risk of contamination to the drinking water of 70.2% of the population. 14% fell within the moderate risk range, while 9.8% were at high risk and 5.9% were at very high risk. With respect to drinking water at the household level, collected from a drinking receptacle, 66.3% were not at risk, while 15.3% were in the moderate risk range, 10.6% at high risk, and 7.8% at very high risk. The difference between contamination at the source and at the household levels is a key finding of the mix, suggesting that contamination can be introduced between the point where water enters the home and the point of consumption. These results,
according to the Director General of SIB, Diana Castillo, the Multiple Indicator Colster Survey 7, MICS 7, results did not seek to measure the presence of contaminants in our national water supply.
we emphasize that the mixed results did not seek to measure the presence of contaminants in our national water supply, but rather at the point of consumption in the home, regardless of where the household obtains its drinking water. The highest proportion of at-risk households, for example, was among persons whose drinking water is obtained from rainwater collection. This indicates a need for improved catchment and first flush diversion systems for these households. Furthermore, the gap between the results for the source versus the household samples highlights the importance of addressing household water storage and hygiene practices. The mixed survey provides information.
In response to the survey's findings, yesterday the Belize Water Services BWS issued a swift statement emphasizing that companies' treatment and distribution systems are regularly tested to meet international standards. Today, BWS clarified that at no time SIB their daily testing routines confirm the safety of water delivered to consumers and that contamination, if any, is most likely occurring after the water leaves their facilities.
Clarification is that at no point of time the survey was done at BWS plant as source. It was done at the household level, and at their source means maybe they have the tank or maybe their tap or their receptacle or their water coolers, example. So it has nothing to do with BWS, and it was more highlighting about hygiene practices at household level where we need to improve, and the intention is clear to public awareness purpose or educate people to be better, to improve their kids' lives, and nothing to do with BWS. Now the last thing with respect to chlorine, which we do chlorine sampling every day at different household level, is an indirect reason to show you that there is no chlorine, there is no bacteria in the water as long as there is a residual chlorine in the water. So this everything being done daily, weekly and monthly to ensure the water we supply, it's a potable water and it's a safe water. Thank you.
The recent discovery of E. coli in drinking water sources is not a cause for panic, according to Dr. Laura Friesen, Acting Deputy Director of Public Health and Wellness. What it does highlight, however, is the need for better hygiene.
Water. So it's at this point in time, there is no need for us to consider that it would cause an outbreak. Of course, it does highlight the need for better hygiene and for better hand washing practices in the home and for better water practices in the home. So it does highlight that we do need to work towards that in our population, and all of us are part of that. But it's not a cause for alarm for an outbreak because it doesn't really show that level of data, for example.
The report is expected to be made public early 2026, and when that time comes, it will be diminished with clarity so as to avoid any confusion and misinterpretation.
It is a very extensive and detailed report, which is why we need a little bit more time to finalize. And yes, it will be presented with the necessary explanations for context, an analysis of what the figures are actually saying, what they mean. And so when that very lengthy report comes out, we will welcome and continue to try to engage with stakeholders across different sectors to ensure that there is a shared understanding of what the results mean and how they can be used. If I can add one more thing with respect to the testing from the mix. The Ministry of Health indicated their protocols and in terms of different requirements that need to be met in order for the test to be valid. And you asked about the possibility of the drinking receptacle introducing contamination. Now the reason why we would not sanitize the faucet from which we draw the sample or the drinking receptacle is because we are looking to test for contamination that is introduced through the handling and storage of water. In the real world, when households access their water, they don't sanitize their faucet, they don't sanitize their water cooler spout. This is where they drink it from. So that is what we are seeking to measure, which is something different and complementary from what both MOH and BWS is measuring.
Okay. And speaking
The Ministry of Health and Wellness emphasized that annually, approximately 4,000 water samples are analyzed nationwide. All results are evaluated against WHO guidelines, and any isolated issues are promptly addressed through corrective measures in collaboration with water authorities and municipal partners. In the end of October, Jerome Palma stepped into the role of CEO at the Social Security Board, signaling a new direction for the organization. His appointment comes after a brief tenure by his predecessor, Dr. Leroy Almendares, whom he served with as Deputy CEO for the past year. Palma's vision focuses on 4 priority areas vital for the future of the SSB and its contributors.
I think my first plan is an alignment with our strategic priorities. We have identified 4 strategic priority areas, so there's definitely an alignment there. For me, it is to ensure that we push in that way to deliver on those. We have established those as our priorities. We have advised everyone that those are priority areas. From where I sit as CEO, I have the function of operationalizing it to make sure from an administration and a management perspective, we can push forward with those priority areas. So from a vision, it is definitely an alignment with those because those are established now. Those are our areas that we are looking at, and we want to make sure we can achieve those. It is also for us to push to a point where we can recognize the changes that the Belizean public expect from social security.
In the most layman terms for them, how does this look for them in terms of future, or not so distant, but of course, because Belizeans tend to key in for tomorrow rather than 10 years from now, when it comes to benefits, death benefits, because they're like, okay, I paid Social Security, I expect this from them.
Well, I think we can't look at debt benefit in a strict sense of, say, a funeral grant. That is one of our debt benefit. There are survivors' pension that is also paid with respect to debt. So that is an additional benefit that we pay out. For us, we have to be mindful that any increase in benefit may have a countering effect where there may need to be an adjustment and perhaps an increase in rate or restructuring of what we have. So it is not as straightforward as saying, okay, well, the usual cost is $2,000. Let us make that adjustment there. It may be to meet that now, what would be the relative adjustment we have to meet elsewhere?
Amidst serious concerns raised, the Belize Port Authority issued a release informing the public that the motor vessel Captain America, an offshore supply vessel bearing IMO number 9526382 and flying the Mexican flag, will be calling to Belizean waters for a brief and limited visit. The vessel operates primarily within Mexican waters. However, due to domestic regulatory requirements in Mexico relating to the vessel documentation, Captain America is legally required to depart Mexican jurisdiction and proceed to a foreign port before re-entering Mexico. The vessel's arrival in Belize is exclusively to satisfy this legal obligation. Upon anchoring at the designated area, the Captain America will be boarded by the relevant Belizean authorities for standard verification and clearance procedures. Once outbound clearance is granted, the vessel will promptly depart Belize and return to Mexico. The Belize Port Authority emphasizes that the vessel is not authorized to undertake any commercial or operational activities within Belizean waters beyond the required arrival and departure formalities. Belize, in accordance with international maritime practice, will facilitate the vessel's temporary entry for the limited purpose described. The public is further advised that this port call is routine and possesses no disruption to national maritime operations. 29 entrepreneurs from across the country are getting a significant boost to grow and strengthen their businesses. Today in Belize City, they each received a $7,000 seed capital grant through the Belize Enterprise Empowerment Project, better known as BEEP. The recipients represent a diverse mix of industries, from jewelry making and photography to soil products and specialized food processing. The grant awards follow months of tailored training designed to help participants improve operational efficiency, expand market reach, and enhance financial literacy. Notably, 21 of the awardees are women, highlighting the program's growing impact on supporting and advancing women-led enterprises. Speaking at today's ceremony, Bell Trade Executive Director Ishmael Curios explained that participants were selected based on clear criteria, including businesses' readiness, potential for growth, and the ability to apply the skills gained during their training.
So we're here at the third Seed Capital ceremony under the Belize Enterprise Empowerment Project, which is a fantastic initiative funded by the CARICOM Development Fund and implemented by Bell Trade in conjunction with partners who have participated in the evaluation process that have identified awardees from various categories in the entrepreneurial space in Belize.
So talk to us about those categories and more or less how many applicants did you get?
So to date, we have had 74 applicants and awardees. 74 awardees, hundreds of applicants across the categories of startup, maturing, and exporting businesses. So we've gotten a lot of interest. There have been many, many applicants. Of course, our criteria is quite rigorous in terms of what we're looking for in applications are one, completeness, as well as innovation, and really, looking for that sustainability aspect in project plans.
Curios noted that the program is already demonstrating strong results, with many entrepreneurs showing improved structure, planning, and market potential.
So just to mention that the partners in our selection process have been the Development Finance Corporation, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the National Institute of Culture and History, together with representatives from Bell Trade. And so the criteria that has been developed to assess, the applications that we've received really looks for, what stands out, in the business ideas that have presented. And looking at sustainability, of course, we're guided by green, blue, and orange, principles. And so anything that kind of, really speaks to that, and very importantly also speaks to that sustainability aspect, which of course does not only mean environmental, it means viability. We're looking at what will have impact. And so what we've really been looking for across the different categories are businesses that really have strong potential, strong promise to either continue from the startup phase, continue to mature in terms of scaling, and of course tapping into export markets in terms of the exporting category.
Among the recipients is an entrepreneur who traveled from Corozal, the owner of Esquivel and Sons Honey. They shared that the grant will allow them to expand production, improve packaging, and pursue access to new markets, helping their family-run business reach the next level.
Well, this grant we get, we're going to buy new equipment to start to have better protection to our honey, like people can see what we do all around. That's helped a lot.
The guidance and training that you've received, how will this help you?
But they help you a lot because with Bell Trade we are already reached to Taiwan. Then invite us to Taiwan. My son Ezekiel gone to Taiwan to find from new markets, and that's a big help you have it.
What are some of the key benefits you feel that you've received partnering with Bell Trade?
Like I told you, we don't reach to Taiwan and the market, and we're getting more to recognize all of Belize, because you see the media is here, and that's what we like, because we need to have our Belizean people to buy our stuff, our honey, to make we continue working.
The BEAT program is expected to continue providing entrepreneurial development, technical support, and business financing opportunities in the months ahead. There is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Personally, I want to thank the GOB, Government of Belize, for giving Ecumenical College its fair share of these Chromebooks.
We used to get our work done and learn on the typewriter. In the last 25 years, we have seen a complete transformation.
It is my esteemed pleasure to give a heartfelt thank you to the Ministry of Education and most notably to the Minister of Education, Mr. Rekenya, and his team for this tremendous donation to our school and our students. Please note that this gesture speaks volume to your dedication to our education system.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Enjoy free social media data now included in our Flex Choice and Select postpaid plans. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
The World Trade Organization's Fish Fund has approved the Building Legal Understanding and Enforcement Capacity for Fisheries Subsidies Reform in Belize Blue Cap project. This grant, valued at $300,000, will help Belize build the legal and institutional capacity needed to manage emerging fisheries subsidy programs responsibly, ensuring they support livelihoods without inadvertently encouraging harmful fishing practices. The Blue Cap project complements ongoing blue economy initiatives, such as the IDB-supported program to expand artisanal fisheries and the National Blue Economy Development Policy and Strategy by pairing financial and livelihood support with strong governance and compliance frameworks. Together, these efforts reinforce Belize's vision of a blue economy that is both economically empowering and environmentally sustainable. The success of this application reflects the close collaboration of the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, the Ministry of Blue Economy and Marine Conservation, the Fisheries Department, and the High Seas Fisheries Unit in partnership with the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, CRFM. The Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and New Growth Industries has received an advanced equipment package through the Korea International Cooperation Agency funded project, the Enabling of Belize's Statistical System. Implemented by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, the initiative aims to modernize and strengthen Belize's capacities in agricultural data collection, field monitoring, and national reporting. As part of the project's activities, representatives from COICA, FAO, and the ministry conducted a field visit to observe firsthand the operational use of the donated technologies. The demonstration showcased real-time data collection using CAP computer-assisted personal interviewing devices, drone-assisted crop surveying, and the process of information using specialized analytical software. These tools collectively enable more accurate tracking of agricultural outputs, improved data management, and the timely generation of high-quality statistical information. Following the field's demonstrations, a formal handover ceremony was held to officially transfer a utility task vehicle (UTV) and a trailer, key additions to wider the equipment package, which includes drones, digital survey devices, and advanced data processing software. The UTV and trailer will enhance field mobility, expand monitoring coverage into remote agricultural areas, and support real-time field data acquisition. This investment directly supports Belize's efforts toward evidence-based agricultural planning, enhanced food security, strengthened rural livelihoods, and improved national reporting. By producing more accurate and timely agricultural statistics, including indicators relevant to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, the ministry will be better positioned to formulate strategic policy responses, anticipate sector challenges, and support farmers across the country. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, November 28th, here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at www.ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3, thank you for watching and listening, and have a splendid night.